Let's get ready to story! It's random time, everybody. That was the, I think that was the Little Mermaid.
It was.
It was?
It was beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, mixing them up real good, like, you know, so sometimes you're gonna stick your hand inside an old parade day hat and you're gonna pick out a name, like, you know, it's gonna be freaking awesome.
Let's wiggle it.
And sometimes this name is gonna look like this.
Gabrielle Shefski.
Gabby Shefski. Gabby Shefski. Gabby Shefski is. Oh, you're right in front. Oh, Gabby. You were toying with my emotions. All right, Gabby. Where are you from? Gabby Shefski is from Clark Summit. And she's going to teach us this. Domestic and foreign unrest. Exciting. In the summer of 1952, Lebanon had to face a severe crisis in its internal affairs. Political and economic unrest brought about the resignation of President Bishara al-Khoury, who had held the office since 1943. Gabby, everybody!
Hi. So this is really exciting. I've never done anything like this in my life. And I think that's for the better because about just 1 year ago, I would never have been able to get up here in front of you all and speak. If some of you might know, but a year ago, I left the country to go on an exchange year. I studied abroad. I lived in Belgium for 1 year. And going away, leaving my home, my friends, my family, studying in another country for a year taught me so many lessons. And the most important lessons that I learned this past year have been about one little thing that has been the key to my growth and becoming independent. And that one thing is communication with others. And so my lessons in communication started with when I was going through the experience that could be the best and the worst part of the exchange year, which was changing host families. And the first host family is difficult for every exchange student because, first of all, you just left your family, you're going through homesickness, culture shock, all kinds of things. You're trying to learn a new language. I was trying to learn French. And above all that, I had a personal problem, which was my crippling shyness. So when I had hope for the second part of my exchange year because I really loved the family that I was going into. I found that they were great. And so my philosophy going into a new family and trying to adapt to them was mostly observation at the beginning because they had kids my age. So for the first few weeks, I tried to observe what the kids did, how they treated their parents, how I was expected to act, what I was expected to do in the household. And if that meant following my host siblings when they did things, that's what I did. So that meant doing a few things that I wasn't really comfortable with, that weren't in my habits. That meant getting up from the table and leaving all the dirty dishes there for my host parents to clean up. And when my host mother told me to just give her my dirty laundry and expect her to clean it, and then she would lay it on my bed at the end of the weekend, I did that because it was what she asked of me. So this continued for the first few weeks while I was there, and I spent about 2.5 months with them. And later on, I started noticing that there were a few problems between us in our relationship. I wasn't sure how it came about. But as time went on, I felt less and less comfortable in this situation. I knew there were differences in our personalities, but I didn't know at what extent I was really feeling miserable in this household until I went to see someone about it, a representative of the organization who had allowed me to do this exchange. I went to his house crying. I said, I need to get out of here. And then I left that family earlier than I should have. And the night before I left, I had a shouting match with my host father. And by shouting match, I mean it was him shouting at me. And I said nothing. I knew he wouldn't listen to a word I said, even if I had said it. And so I sat there and I took it. But I don't remember everything that he said, but there was one moment that I do remember that shocked me. And it was when he kind of took everything that had happened in the 2.5 months that I stayed with him. He kind of crunched it all up and pushed it back in my face. He accused me of not having helped my host mother with the dishes or with the laundry when if I had had the guts, I would have told him that I never knew that this was expected of me. Nobody had ever told me this, and I felt horrible about that. So that was the moment when I realized two things about this key word, communication, how powerful it really is, and how badly my relationship with my host family was lacking it. So even though I had some really bad times during my exchange year, especially with this family, I can only thank them. I can only say thanks to my host family for having taught me this. Because if I hadn't gone through this, I wouldn't be here speaking with you. And it makes me so happy to be able to share this story and to be back in the United States because I just got in like last night. And so I learned so much about this thing called communication, and it's helping me on my way to keep on growing. And so thanks, second host family.
Gabby, everybody, Gabby, our second random. I was once in Belgium, and I got very drunk. I drank with a Canadian who was in Belgium prior to actually no, he's going up to Amsterdam. Anyway, he had a girlfriend in Europe, and they're like states, and he's going to Colorado, I don't know. But anyway, he was from Canada, she was from Europe. She said, bring me something from your country, and he's from Canada, and he says, I know, maple syrup. And she goes, I don't know what that is. And so he goes, it's delicious. You put it on anything. And he's like, I'm gonna buy you there's a orchard down my road, because they don't have streets, they have roads in Canada. And they make their own organic maple syrup, and he was gonna do that, but he didn't. And he was at the airport and he forgot. And so he got her Aunt Jemima. But she loved it.